All right, folks, we're back from Vegas, and we've done what I think nobody else has ever done, or maybe they have done it, but nobody's done it with the budget we did. We took a car we bought for $500 and fixed up for probably about, I think, right around 12 grand in this car, and we went to Sema in Las Vegas with it, and we ran in the Optima Search for the Ultimate Street Car Invitational. We were not last. Amazingly enough, for those unfamiliar with the program, it's a 5-element competition. They have a feeder series through the year. You have to do design and engineering, which is a judged portion, which you have to basically sell your car to some judges. They've got what they call speed stop or peak performance challenge. So you go, make a 180 turn, come back, and then stop in a 20 by 40 foot box without hitting anything. There's an autocross, and there's a road course, and then there is a road rally. So the whole point is to find an all-around good car. Something that's really good in one thing might not be so good in another. The balance is what wins it, and it gives opportunities. And then the path through the feeder series is if you earn enough points, if you win an event or you earn enough points at the end of the season, you get an invite to the Invitational, and you get to go to Las Vegas and put your car in the Sema show, which is the largest automotive manufacturing parts car show in the world. And the car gets to be in the show, and then you get to run the Invitational. Starting 2 years ago, they started running portions of the competition at the show. So there's a large concrete off area. 2 years ago, they started with just doing the speed stop there. And then last year, they started doing the speed stop and the autocross. So this year, they did that as well. We couldn't say enough about the car. The week started out on Monday. The show officially opened on Tuesday. We loaded in on Monday. That went really smoothly. We parked outside. We were kind of along the long end of the performance area, probably about halfway up. Funnily enough, people coming into the show from buses from hotels and Uber and Lyft riders, the entrance to the show walks all of them right past all our cars. And so it was kind of neat. There were a lot of YouTubers that were filming cars coming into the show that came across the probe and were like, is that a Ford probe? I had a lot of people, younger people that were at the show, didn't even know what it was. So we got to tell them that story about the whole, it was supposed to replace the Mustang and all that stuff. And then, that was kind of Tuesday. We got to walk the show. The show was great this year. We went 2 years ago with the Buick, and that was I think that was the first year they had the show since reopening, because they didn't have one in 20 at all because of COVID. 2021, the show was a little thin. A lot of the international folks couldn't make it because they can't travel. But this year, it seems like almost everybody was back. So it was a great show. It was a big show. A lot of neat stuff we got to see. We got to see some YouTubers that I watch cars on display. Got to talk to a few of them. That was cool. Tuesday, we very much just walked the show. My girlfriend Jenny and I, we drove out there, 2-day trip. First leg from Louisville to Amarillo, second leg to Amarillo to Las Vegas, and we did the same thing coming back the other way. So we drove 4,000 miles round trip. Tuesday was nothing. There wasn't going anything. Wednesday morning we did our D&E presentation, and amazingly enough, of all the elements, this thing, D&E was actually, I think, our best portion of the event. The judges really liked this car. Out of there were 91 cars in the event. 7 of them were outlaws, so they don't do D&E, so we weren't competing against them for that. So that gets you down to 84. 91 minus 7 is 5 is 56. 84 cars were competing, and I think we finished something like 66. I'll put it up on the screen, which is really good. That's the top of the bottom third. That's excellent for D&E at this event, because the cars at this event, they're all premium, high quality, very, very good, solid builds, and to have done as well as we did, and that was awesome. Speed stop, never our good event. This car just doesn't have the power that everybody else does, so we kind of pulled up the rear on that. I think we were probably in the high 70s, low 80s in terms of place. I don't know, I'll put that one up on the screen too. Autocross, we had a good autocross. Through most of the runs, we ended up with 8 runs on the course. In the afternoon, on our very last run, we managed to put together a flyer that was what I think was appropriate for what this car could do. And that run launched us from like 91st overall, which was almost dead last, up into the 70s. So once again, top of the bottom third in autocross. Awesome, amazing. This car was nimble. It worked well. The alignment was great. Everything was wonderful. The road rally, no big problem. We just drive from the Sema show out to the track on Friday night. Not a lot to tell about that, except sitting in traffic trying to get away from the convention center. And then Saturday all day was the road course. And they put us in the expert group. So we were the slowest car in the expert group. And we had some challenges in the first few sessions we ran in the morning. The car was hitting boost cut. It was, and then when it's quite violent. We finally figured that out after the second session. The boost solenoid was dirty and it had a clog in it, and it wasn't working right. So I cleaned that up with some. I had some safety wire that you used to get the passages reamed out, and some carb cleaner, and slapped it all back together. Went out for the third session, had boost, car was running great, exhaust manifold broke. I'll show that up on the screen here. So that kind of ended the day, but we did finish the event. Now, some things we had in the morning, we had the expert group, there was, not everybody in the expert group was really an expert. They're only run expert and intermediate at the Invitational. So, but they had 4 run groups. They had to get nearly 100 cars into those 4 run groups. So they fit everybody in spots best as they could, and that was fine. Had some people that were gapping too much that were ahead of me. And then what happened was the people at the very front of the run group, the fast guys, were actually catching me towards the end of their first lap, which hopefully next year maybe they'll put something in the driver's meeting or something to kind of help people work on their gaps, because you don't need that gap 30 seconds. You need a gap like 3 seconds. So, and then of course that gap took 30 seconds of time away from me between the front ones, and the bad part is, so these guys are on their flyers and they're coming around second to last, third to last turn of their fast lap, and there's a probe. So I was get out of the way, point them by, get them by me as fast as I can. But when you run up on a car, you have to slow down to deal with passing that car. You can't just zip past it most of the time. So hopefully that didn't hurt them too bad. Our road course times, I think we're in the 80s, like not 82nd, but we placed like 80th something, which is fine in this crowd. Like, this is the top 100-ish cars from the entire season. And I think if you add up, they had 7 events, and there were anywhere from 70 to 100 cars at each one of those 7 events. You're looking at probably 500 or 600 cars over the course of the season, and these are the top 100 out of all those. So to not be last in that crowd is awesome, especially in something as, I don't know, we'll call it special. The probe is special. So that's it. I mean, it was great. We're not going to take the probe out with Optima again next year. We proved the point with the car. We don't have to make the series suffer dealing with this wreck any longer. We'll still be doing hill climbs with it because it's got all the safety equipment. The year, wrapping up the year, we mostly ran Optima events plus the 2 hill climbs. Getting to Vegas was the goal. Mission accomplished. Next year we'll try to refine the craft, get better as a driver, see if we can iron out some of the niggling things with the car and make it kind of a more consistent competitor, especially in the hill climb realm. I think this car really exceeds in hill climbs, honestly. The results haven't shown it yet, but I think there's some real good potential there. most of the problems between the driver and the steering, or the chair and the steering wheel. So that's me. And then, looking forward to next year, right? What are we going to do? We're not going to do as many Optima events. We are not, getting to Vegas is not a goal for next year. We're going to back away from that a little bit. This year was a good push. We made it. Next year we're going to do more hill climbs. We're going to do the entire Appalachian Hill Climb Series. So all 3 events. So that'll be Pine Mountain, Dragon, and Norton Flag Rock in Norton, Virginia. We are going to go back to the SCCA Time Trials Nationals next October. That's an excellent event. It's a 4-day event. It's close to home, so it's awesome. And it's all track. There's no multi-segment stuff. It's all just track, which is, it's low stress. It's real chill. It's great. Which car we take for that, I don't know. I am hoping to have the Corvette done for the Time Trials Nationals next year. We will see. But we always have the probe to fall back on. We've already replaced the broken manifold. It's up and running 100% again. The Buick is going to go under the knife a little bit. We're going to completely rebuild. Oh, excuse me. The Buick's going under the knife again. We're going to completely rebuild the front suspension. We've got drop spindles to bring the nose back down, and drop spindles are kind of neat because they lower the car without screwing the geometry up, which is what happens when you use shorter springs and stuff. So we'll get that on soon and get that ironed out. We've got a new steering box in it, which is wonderful. And once we lower the front, we're going to have to lower the back. We're going to make some adjustments in the back there. And there's some parts from some of our friends at UMI that we need to still get that are going to allow that adjustment to work right. And then the Corvette. So, the primary focus over the winter is going to be getting the paint done. And then hopefully the paint will be done shooting for the end of February so that in March we can finish putting the engine together, do the suspension, and get the car back on the road. Might not make it to our first event. Obviously, we're going to shake it down at local autocrosses before we take it on track. And, we're pretty much committed to run the Hill Climb Series with the probe next year. So it probably won't do hill climbs next year. But the ultimate goal is to have it sorted out in time for Time Trials Nationals next October. So if you're kind of watching this channel a lot, sorry, but the next couple of months are probably going to be a lot of semi-boring videos on bodywork and paint, which I'll try to summarize those. I know I'm not going to do a whole lot with it because there's plenty of people better than me out there on YouTube you can go watch for body and paint. So we'll keep tabs on that. Everybody have a good holiday. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe at the bottom, and we'll see you next time.